So I just flew back in from Las Vegas from going to NAB. Of course, that's a joke because I live in Vegas. So the joke about living in Vegas kind of goes both ways because, you know, it kind of sucks here. Anyway, NAB was all right. Nothing too crazy from what I've seen. I know at these type of events, there can be one person seeing one thing and they freak out over it, but the person across the way doesn't even know anything about it. But I don't know, I just didn't see anything too crazy to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, that's revolutionary. I mean, they came out with a couple stuff, couple cameras, and that's exactly what I'm gonna go over in this video. Just a little recap of my experience going to NAB and pretty much the whole highlights of the show of NAB 2024. So the first thing I wanna go over, or more so the first company I wanna go over, is a company called Blazar. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Blazar, not Blazar. So if you never heard of the company, you're just like me, I never heard of it as well. That is until I seen it on day one. Pretty much what Blazar is, it's a new lens company. They have great lenses and it's really affordable as well. So if you're wondering how affordable are we talking about, here's just a quick comparison between Atlas Mercury's and Blazar Remus. As you can see, Blazar's lenses are about $1,000 and the Mercury's are like $8,000. Now I decided not to stop there because there may be some people who are like, okay, that's Atlas. Okay, look, can we get another company? So I pulled up one of Viltrox's lenses, 50mm, they do 1.33. I talked to this one person at Viltrox's booth and they said they're also known for their affordable lenses. As you can see here, their 50mm is, I'm just looking at the price right there. It's like $3,200. So, which was really the more affordable one. Blazar's lenses are also kind of smaller too and more lightweight, while Viltrox's lenses are pretty chunky. They look cool though. And the hype isn't solely about Blazar's company, it's also about the new line of lenses that they're coming out with called Katos, Blazar Kato lenses. So these Kato lenses are 2x full frame anamorphic, and these Kato lenses are gonna have the same barrel distortion as their Remus line. And I think this barrel distortion that both of these lenses will have will definitely achieve some specific type of look for you. I can't really put my finger on any words that would describe that type of look, but all I can say is that if you're going for any creative, real full of characteristic type of look, this lens will probably be the best for you. As the size, the weight, definitely the price that has Blazar with these huge factors that has them approaching the top. So another interesting thing that I personally haven't seen too much is that these Kato lenses will have a silver flare. Now, I didn't really pay attention too much on how strong these silver flares are, but regardless, I've seen the Remus lenses and I don't think it'll be too bad to the point where it's unbearable. I think silver and blue has to be my most favorite flares because, you know, they're most natural look you can go. And at the same time, it can be great if you're trying to add something to your image. So speaking on Atlas's Mercury line of lenses, I did go visit their booth. This year was definitely a year where I did interact more with the cameras, lenses, and play around with them a bit more. And you know, there's kind of a reason I brought up the Mercuries. So what they had on display there originally was the Orions. For those, I don't know, it just kind of looked too sharp to me, especially at the edges, that focus fall off. So some lady overheard me say that and they're like, oh, we have like a different set of lenses. These are the Mercuries. Do you want me to show you these lenses? And I'm like, sure, yeah, let's put it on. So she put the Mercuries on and they looked fantastic. And I think the reason is because they said with the Mercuries, they tried to incorporate some more vintage aspects into these lenses. Micah always used to tell me that he likes vintage lenses better. I mean, I would like to explore it more. You may have something going for him. So continuing on, while exploring NAB, I got to be on Brandon Washington's game show. Who would have thought? Not me. So pretty much I had to guess the price of certain items. Not up my alley. Like if you see me try to guess the prices of an iPhone, I get surprised every single time and I'm like, that's cheap. So the first thing I had to guess was an Angelbird 2TB Type B card. I guessed 800 and it was actually 400. Anton Bauer battery, I guessed 600, it was 300. Aperture Electrostorm CS15, as you just saw with the expression on my face while saying that, I'm not too fond with too many lights. I haven't looked for lights in so long. Now, I don't really remember what I guessed, but I do remember that it was 2 times less than what the actual price was. Do you see some type of pattern here with these 2 times? Brandon, if you're watching this though, please don't put me through that again. Although it wasn't that horrible because I was lucky enough to obtain one of his CFA hats, the Creative Fam Academy hat. Not only that, but I received a Creative Fam Academy flannel for being an interactive community creator. Would you look at that? Look at me go. I'm gonna wear that. Flannels are my thing, bro. So this video was sponsored by CFA, which is not. But regardless, I wanna say make sure you go check out Creative Fam Academy by Brandon Washington. It's highly underrated. He's a man with great experience, great knowledge. So you can only imagine what information he has to hold in Creative Fam Academy. Aperture's booth was nice. You wouldn't imagine the amount of creators that was around it. It's kind of funny, actually. They had like different sets showing off how their lights could be used. And that's one way for them to market their lights. And then in the middle, they had like this kitchen table, I believe, and they had just had a whole bunch of their like powerful lights sitting on that table, pointing up at the sky just to show how much power these lights have. So a lot of the time you see people go up to the lights, turn the dial, and just look up, be like, wow, that's pretty strong. I wasn't too sure if they came out with anything new. Forgive me for not getting all the information for you, my viewers. But what I do have information on is Blackmagic's new cinema cameras. I did just recently post a reel about my experience with them. I did have to cut some stuff out because I had to keep it under 60 seconds so I could post it on YouTube. I do remember that I did spell unique wrong. It was a typo and I didn't check over my work, rookie mistake. But briefly, what I went over in the video and how I feel about their new cinema cameras, I don't think 12K is that necessarily. I did get a comment from Micah in the video saying 12K may be used for, you know, any VFX or anything, which I get that, and also maybe used for downsampling and to get a crisper, cleaner 8K or 4K resolution, which I couldn't imagine because I don't like stuff that is that sharp. I like clean images. I like clean, sharp images. Don't get me wrong, but there's a limit. The Pyxis camera was cool. I like its small size. I mean, they're definitely going at the competition with this small Pyxis 6K camera. But what I don't like about either of them is the side screen. I don't like the big monitor that shows everything. I don't really think too many people would use it. The only people I feel like would use it is the people who are filming on a budget. They can't afford another monitor, so they're pulling focus while looking at that screen. The other screen on the other side, and I'm pretty sure one of the two cameras at least had another small screen that showed some settings. That one I think is fine. Doesn't take up too much space. If you're trying to see the settings real quickly, you can look on there, you got it. But like I said at the end of the video, I enjoy seeing them put out some new cameras. The one thing I really like about Blackmagic is their operating system. It is so simple. It looks so nice. So Blackmagic's design CEO, I think his name is Grant Petty. Grant Petty said that the Blackmagic Pyxis is a fully professional cinema camera with more connections and seamless integrations into post-production workflow. That right there, I feel like will have many heads turn to the Pyxis 6K. Pyxis 6K. You need to take a break in between the two. Just the fact that they have that seamless integration and post-production workflows, I think that'll really help a lot of people. A lot of people may go to the Pyxis for that. Now, I'm not completely sure what those integrations are, but it's Blackmagic. You know, they have DaVinci Resolve. I trust them. Insta360, they came out with a new action camera called the X4, or it's called the Insta360 X4. So the crazy thing is that I knew nothing about this while I was at NAB. I just woke up one day and I seen everybody freaking out. So don't worry, I already did the research for you about this new action camera. It's a full 360 action camera that has 8K resolution. It does 5.7K at 60 FPS, and it shoots in H.265. That's you. No, that's you. I think the feature of shooting first and framing later comes in handy so much. You can literally just plant the camera down like it's a piece of furniture, just let it rip. You don't have to worry about, oh, did you get this angle? And is it pointing the right way? Shoot first, frame later. Like I said, it's you, that's you. Now going on to Ari's booth, I personally think it was, Canon's booth too was, So pretty much for Ari, they had a whole bunch of shows. They had some dances, boxing shows, and what is that last? Musicals at one point. And for each one of the shows, Ari had their cameras at every angle. But then again, at the end of the day, how else are you gonna show off what your camera can do? Ari and Canon, you guys did good. Thank you for being there at NAB in 2024. Sony, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing. They were on their own little corner, biggest booth probably in all of the show. They had multiple booths inside of a booth. And I feel like a lot of people will go in the comments and be like, as they should. Like, anyway, if you stuck around to this point, I thank you so much for sticking around to hear my experience. And I would like to think that the highlights of this video was pretty much the highlights of NAB in general and not just my highlights. Before I leave, I want to thank you guys for watching my last video, and I want to go over some of the comments mention some of them before I leave. Let me just scoot over to the side here. So I got a comment from Mills. We actually went to NAB together. Thanks for joining me once again. It was a pleasure meeting up at NAB with you and just learning some information, and also seeing you talk to so many companies about collaborations. Mills said, solid bro, dropping gems. Quakey said, keep up the good work. And to you, Quakey, I say, I will see you in the gym tomorrow, please God. Micah said, very informative. I would only hope so. Aileen said, great job on this video. Great job on being so loving, Aileen. I love you, sweetheart. Galactic Tommy said, keep it up. It's so rare to see a new channel like this with less than 1,000 subs with this much quality. Love your videos, fantastic work. Thank you so much, Galactic Tommy. Your comment is definitely out of this world, and it is definitely galactic. And I also want to say thank you for watching the video, and thank you for the compliment. It means so much more than you know, more than my words, my expression can even say. And I really, really hope to see you on my journey to 1,000 subs, 10,000 subs, 100,000 subs, 1,000,000 subs. Oh, that could be something. I will see you guys in the next video. Have both of my lights right here blasting on my face just to get enough so I can expose for out here. If you guys ever want to expose outside for a window, get ND gel. It'll probably work so much better rather than having 2 lights blasting in your face and your camera saying that you're underexposed.